Hello, my loves. For the month of November 2025, we are going to focus on business related topics, and I'm bringing out the best of my business hits. Today, we're talking about authentic intelligence rather than, as opposed to, instead of, a better option than artificial intelligence. And as I'm recording this right now to you, I'm sitting in a hotel room in London, England, shortly after I've come off stage giving a talk to a room full of mostly female business entrepreneurs. I asked them at the beginning of the day if they wanted to talk about AI, and they groaned. And I said, well, we got to do it. And I'm always willing to, not for the sake of it, but I'm willing to be the contrarian if it's all in service to truth. And this podcast conversation is in service to the truth of what I believe the fact to be, that AI is where intuition goes to die. So, on that note, welcome to today's episode of With Love, Danielle. Hello, my loves. So I have a question for you, and I will reveal why I'm asking this later. So Johnny Cash, been around for a long time, legend. How many albums in the span of his career do you think Johnny Cash produced? How many albums? Not singles. Created. How many albums did he release? 3, 5, 10, 6 to 100. Switch gears. How many albums do you think Led Zeppelin created, released in their career? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The most legendary, I would say, substantive rock bands of all time. 12, 8, 3, 25, 5, 10. Okay, let's go. This is the intent and the energy of our togetherness today. We continue to go through a lot of intentional change. And I realize that our scale isn't going to match for everybody, but our thought process is applicable to everyone. We have questions that we unconsciously, intentionally, not so intentionally ask. Those questions are as follows: what's not working and what is working? That's really all you need to. You can go through every category. Like, what feels broke, what feels heavy, what feels light, what feels like we should invest more of our time in it. The question for me usually is, does this feel like this is expanding us? Do I feel like open in my heart and my body and my mind? Or is this like heavy and contracted? And how's the nervous system of the situation? How's the nervous system of the business? Is the business right now, think of yourselves right now, is your creativity, whatever you're offering to the world, your careering, your businessing, are you in fight or flight mode? Are you in freeze mode? You a little bit on the stuck? Are you in fawning mode? It's like kind of, butt kissing with influencers, clients, trying to get the contract, doesn't feel quite right. And there's antidotes to those things, the opposite of all of those things. The opposite to fight is to harmonize. So harmonize doesn't mean that everybody's getting along perfectly and everybody's on the same page. Doesn't mean you're all agreeing, but it means you all agree about what you need to agree on. Like, we found working solutions. I think the opposite of the wanting to bail, of the flight mode, is you're curious and you're committed, as opposed to like wanting to leave the room, wanting to fire the client, wanting to like deep six your content. It's like, oh, what's here? What's salvageable? What feels bright? And freezing, I can speak with some authority on this. I'm a freezer, my nervous system is expression. Like, you have things to say, and we're all heart-centered people. We're going to say it in the most loving way, but you got to keep the energy moving. And I think the antidote for fawning is trusting agency. You trust your power. When you trust your power, you don't have to kiss ass. And when you trust, the opposite of fawning is like, you trust that you're going to get the support that you need, deserve, require. You don't have to beg for it. The world is going to be tender with you in all the right ways, we hope. Okay. We ask what's best for the business, for the entity. That the answer to that can be really tough sometimes. Yeah. What's best for the family? You know the old adage, like a C player will drag down the A players. And I don't think it's so much this, the C players don't drag A players down. The C players take up a lot of time from the A players, always talking about how to help the C player become a B and an A player. And then general vision, optimism. What's the loving thought for what you're up to? We ask, hey, everybody, what could you be doing better, basically? Do you feel like you're a 10 out of 10? Do you need some pepper in your underpants? Like, how do we we are moving towards being a self-managing business. But part of self-managing is creating a team where nobody is waiting to be told what to do. And I'd say that's the most concise definition. So, okay, so that's just some general guidelines. And of course, we're not that deep as a team all the time. Mostly we're just like, that sucks. Let's not do it anymore. Oh, this is great. We just found this. It gets that deep. I did a workshop a few years ago in Brooklyn with an artist named James Victori. And it was all about creativity. There were a lot of graphic designers. There was a dude there who was working for Apple, who was working on the iPhone. That was super fascinating because we heard all about NDAs and things getting stolen. It was really great. And one exercise that James gave us was we all had to read this article it was critiquing the Martin Luther King monument that had just been erected in Washington, D.C. And some people thought it was perfectly honoring, and some people thought it was off, and it got compared to Abe Lincoln and all these things. And we needed to we had like 15 minutes to do an art piece on that. We needed to do a sketch, an infographic, a diagram. I could have done a truth bomb, whatever it was. And James walked up to somebody who he didn't have a clear sketch. And he said, I'm going to swear, he said, you need to have a fucking opinion. And you cannot make art without having an opinion. And that was there was so much I learned that week about all things art, creativity, and design, and great food. So this is my question to you. I'm going to read you this question in reverse. I'm going to read it to you twice. And I want you, this is an assignment. I would love for you to do something contemplative. You walk, you swim, you do some shavasana. Maybe you just answer it first thing in the morning. I want to know your opinion on what's really happening. Here it is. What's really happening in the culture, in the market, in your community, in your family, on your team, and within you. Okay, now I'm going to ask it in reverse, or it would be interesting to see if you write this out. If your answers change, if you start with this, what's happening within you? What's really happening on your team? What's happening in your family, in your community, in the market, in the culture? You have to have well thought through, formed, stand by it, yet be flexible opinions about all of these things in order to lead. You need to know what's going on, or you need to have an opinion about what you think is going on. What do you think is happening in social media? What's your opinion on AI? Find, what are the hotspots with the people that you serve? And what's your opinion on those things? And why? Because the people you serve want to know. I'm going to read you something that I Slacked. We use Slack. I love it. I sent this to my team on Monday. Team Genuine. I always give them a name, like a little team love, team beauty, team launch, changes all the time. Team genuine. I was talking to a friend this weekend who informed me that people are actually using Chat GPT to compose human to human emails. Yes, I'm just coming into 2024. Like boss to employee messages, partner, romantic partner to partner messages. They're asking chat to write blog posts in the style of themselves. I know this is a thing, but it really landed for me when my friend said that their business partner wrote them a personal message and she figured it out. And the business partner confessed to it being in Chat GPT. So this has gone way beyond marketing and research. Our mighty little team has very few policies and rules. It's true. We have values, we have visions, we have stellar SOPs. But today, please consider this a policy, : Team D will not ever use Chat GPT to communicate with another person. We will not ever use Chat GPT to write like Danielle or to write copy. We will use it for research and research only. We will do the human, real time, real energy, joyful work of thinking, caring, and creating. This is why everything is energy and energy follows thought. We want the energy of communication following our consciousness, our light filled thoughts, not artificial energy building on top of artificiality. Presence cannot be outsourced. It will be felt. It's felt on an energetic level. AI is fooling the intellect. It is not going to fool the heart. We will keep energizing all of our connections with awareness and presence, also known as love. Yours for reals, Danielle. So that's our stand. I think it's going to become a USP, a unique selling proposition for companies that do not use AI and Chat GPT for communication. I see little logos that might spring up in the future that says this was human written. And just stay real. I get it, but just because it sounds like you, it's not you. And you are felt. And you have power. Okay, let's do the reveal. Johnny Cash and Zeppelin. So this is my point about flow, that each of us has a signature flow. We have a signature way of being in that divine feminine, creative, receptive to the higher energy. So Johnny Cash finished 96 records in his career. Led Zeppelin did 9 albums. So Johnny Cash just kept making. Long career. Their career is relative in span. Led Zeppelin made fewer things. They made their albums much more slowly, and they were much more complex. Deep, symphonic, operatic, hot tracks. I love Johnny and Led Zeppelin in equal measure. Actually just tried to get tickets. My guy just texted me. Alison Krauss and Robert Plant are touring now. They're coming to Vancouver, and tickets start at $2,000. That's how much that's higher than Madonna tickets. But people know that Robert stays. He's not going to be in his leather pants much longer. So are you a Johnny Cash or are you Led Zeppelin? Another comparison to this would be Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen. Dylan wrote a song in one sitting. Leonard, my love, years on a song. 3 years to finish Hallelujah. I am a Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan. I just keep making. And there's people who are Led Zeppelins, and you got to be your version of the divine feminine. Okay. Let's just end with love. Like, we are so committed. We are so grateful you're here. Our team is gliding. I am evolving. We're all growing. And I don't need to be convinced. I know, like, refuge is how we regulate our nervous systems, how we be of service, how we stay sane, how we can stay in abundance as so many structures are falling apart. Yeah, so we're just going to keep being the light in the dark and the sanity in Wacky Wednesday. And we're glad you're here. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, for feeling, for spreading the word. With love.